Hi, everybody. It's Rodney connecting from Mulhollem Counseling and Psychotherapy. And wanted to say hello and welcome to another week here as we continue through this COVID situation. First of all, I wanted to take a minute and thank all of you for connecting with us and such. In just the last week and a half to 2 weeks, we have had over 200 people connect with us through likes, through following, through different ways of staying connected with us, allowing us to bring you information of how to work through this. If you're new, we are a psychotherapy and counseling firm, and we work with people from a number of different perspectives. We have a number of different therapists with different backgrounds, and one of the things that we are doing is answering questions, hitting topics that are important to you as you adapt to this situation, and how do we move forward with it. If you are like me, you have just celebrated the holiday of Easter, and for most people, that's a holiday one way or another. But it's probably a very, very different holiday for you this time than it probably ever has been in the past. And with the social distancing aspect, a lot of people stayed home and they had to work through being by themselves or in a much smaller group than they would have preferred. We did talk about some of the how to do that on on a different podcast, but this evening I want to focus on something else. As I was sitting down talking to somebody recently, it really hit me, one of the main topics that people have been asking. And the thoughts of what do I do? How do I handle all this time? I'm home. I'm going with the stir craziness and all that. And one of the things that really hit me was, is this really affecting us as much as we think it is? Or are we letting it affect us in ways that it really is not? So I want to focus on the space between our ears, which is how we consider the situation. If you're like most average person, you probably work 8-10 hours a day, and you probably sleep, if you're lucky, 8+ hours. If not so lucky, maybe less than 8 hours a day. You have the getting ready, you have the driving back and forth. You're probably looking at about 18 to 20 hours a day right there. And obviously you're spending time with your meals and those kinds of things, but a lot of people don't realize, but what has really changed in this situation is only a few hours a day. And if we take the perspective that only a few hours a day are really what's drastically different than what we had before, this can really help reduce anxiety and even depression, where we see it as it is affecting everything, where it's not really as much. Now, if you're an extrovert and you are a personality who loves to be around people, this is a situation that is going to be a little harder for you to deal with than, let's say, an introvert. An introvert, person that likes to be alone, is okay with more downtime, is going to enjoy this more. I've heard some people say they love this, and I'm going to say that I can see liking the downtime, but I think we do need that connection time as well. But I'm going to encourage you today to take a few minutes and just stop and ponder on, how is this really changed my life and how has it not? Is it really affecting my life in a 24-hour cycle, or is it affecting my life in a 2 to 4, maybe 6-hour cycle? Now, that can be a lot of hours for somebody. Again, the extrovert versus the introvert, for example, or if you're used to visiting family and friends and you're not able to. As we talked about in the original podcast that we had did, things to do, how to connect, those kinds of things. But if we change our perspective and realize, hey, I'm not going to let this affect me like it could. I am going to choose to take hold of my life and realize that a lot of things are very similar than what they used to be. and I'm going to choose to make the best of it. Maybe you're somebody that hasn't lost their job or is working from at home or something like that, and things have changed that way as well, in addition to the few hours a day. But if we really take a good look at the situation, consider the positives, first of all, of how well we do have it. Somebody just recently posted a picture on Facebook that we noticed of a child in a third world country that was very thin and weak from not having nourishment and such, and there was a group there that were helping them. And many of us here at home think, wow, we're really struggling with being inside the house and stuff, and we have everything we could ever imagine. We have 150,000 stations on TV, which we can't find anything to watch on all of them. We have the social media, we have the connecting, we have the Facebook, we have a lot of different connections. But I would encourage you to, first of all, look at the time and say, is this really affecting me as much as I'm allowing it? And number two, how can I adapt in that time that I do have to have downtime? And number three, how do I make the best of it? How do I stay connected with people? We are hearing a lot of people say we are doing things like connecting with people, where we're writing letters, we're calling people. My wife and I today took time just to call people that we knew who were alone, just to check in and see how they're doing. I would encourage you to do that. Research shows that when we do something nice for somebody else, that it actually helps us. So I would encourage you to reach out to people, love people, show people caring, grace, concern, those kinds of things, and allow that to help you to grow. Lastly, I'll follow up with this. Some people are saying, I can't wait for things to go back to normal. I can't wait for this to be over so everything can go back to the way it used to be. And I'm going to really, really encourage you to take full opportunity of this situation and don't go back to the way it used to be. Take every situation we have in life and help it to allow us to grow, become better people. How can we become better people, and what has this experience taught us? I encourage you to look at that and say, how can I grow? So, again, thank you for all of your connections. Thank you for all of your questions. Thank you for all your support. If you have not already, if you would click like, follow us, that would be awesome. If you have any questions, certainly feel free to reach out to us. If you are a person who is really struggling with this situation and needs to talk to somebody, give us a call. Right now, we can see anyone in Pennsylvania. We can do just telephone calls. We can do, we have something we call a doxy, which is a medical HIPAA-approved internet connection, like how we're communicating now, and we will get you support. All insurance companies are approved for that, and we are there to help you guys. So if you know somebody or you are one of those people struggling, feel free to give us a call. Otherwise, I encourage you to continue to grow, continue to work through this, and I wish you guys the best, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.